we're talking. I'm going to go ahead and intro us in, and we'll continue chatting just because it's all related here. And I wanted to say good afternoon to all our viewers on the AVP YouTube channel here for the presentation of the 2025 WAUPACA Open at the WAUPACA Boat Ride. And it's a contender series for the AVP, and we are in our first quarterfinal of the day. And I'm Rob Espero with Taylor Wright hanging out of the right coast, not the WRIGHT coast, but the right coast as in the right hand. I'm over in Newport Beach, California, representing the left coast, but we all come together right in the middle in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, side of our WAUPACA Open to commingle and talk about what we're going to be seeing here today. So Taylor, have at it. And I may actually hit you up with some surprise questions here as we are getting ready for our first semi of the day. Or question, quarterfinal of the day.
Quarterfinal, absolutely, Rob, and what a pleasure it is to be here on the stream with you and watching some phenomenal volleyball. Ella Connor, Isabella Martinez, the Cal Poly duo taking on Carly Kahn, the Rathacon, and Devin Sowers. We got to watch Carly Kahn and Devin Sowers power through so many matches last weekend in Denver, Colorado, until they finally fell and they lost their first set in the finals, subsequently then losing that set to a phenomenal duo in Gina Urengo and Avery Jackson. And you actually had the pleasure of having two of those players on your podcast this week to talk about that late comeback push that they were able to pull off in the finals there. This weekend so far, Carly Kahn, Devin Sowers doing exactly what we know they can do and just manhandling some teams down the stretch to make it to this quarterfinal. Ella Connor, Isabella Martinez taking care of business early, losing their second set there in their modified pool, and then coming out in the first round of the single elimination bracket playoffs and absolutely doing what they knew they needed to do and marching right through Molly Phillips and Kate Riley. So this should be a great matchup here with two really high-powered teams, two great blockers, and two of the fastest on the sand defenders that we will have a chance to see all weekend.
Oh, excellent breakdown, Taylor. I just wanted to add that for Ella, and she goes by Izzy, so we don't have to do the full Isabella legal name, but seen Izzy playing the last 3 seasons at Cal Poly. They only dropped one match, and if there is a match to drop, it's against the number 1 seed. Unfortunately, may have been some nervous jitters in that loss because, as you pointed out, as we were off, while we were not live, they lost their first set to Savvy Simo and Abby Van Winkle 21-9. Had somewhat of a rebound losing the second set 21-19, but since they've really started to flex their muscles by steamrolling Molly Phillips and Kate Riley in their opening round single elimination bracket match. But Taylor, I wanted to look, since we're not quite started yet, at the other quarterfinals and wanted to get your thoughts on them because we're not going to see them all, but as much as we'd love to. But let's look at quarterfinal number 1 over on court 2. That's the number 1 seed of Maureen Kinna and Chloe Lorene against Ashley Pater and Sarah Wood. Thoughts?
Oh, man. I knew you might be coming to me with that one. Ending my stream yesterday on the men's side, I actually finished with that match being my prediction to be here on Stadium Court. And what a phenomenal matchup that is. Ashley Pater has been playing some incredible ball. We saw her struggle a little bit early on yesterday. And last weekend in Denver, we saw some absolute flashes of greatness and moments where I think you and I both were just kind of sitting there going, how in the world did she get to that ball? So a really big matchup there, and really interested to see either side of this bracket right now has some absolute powerhouses, and no one, I mean no one, has an easy run to get to the finals.
Well, it's a good transition because in quarterfinal number 2, the winner of that first match will play the winner of this one. Another solid matchup. Piper Furch, another former Cal Poly Mustang, and Natalie Miskowski, a former Bruin now, facing off against Megan Rice and Kendra Van Sweeten.
Yeah, we got to watch Megan Rice and Kendra Van Sweeten right here on Stadium yesterday, and we got to talk a lot about just that veteran expertise that they're bringing to the game right now. We're watching a lot of really, flashy young guns come up and play some amazing ball at the NCAA side right now, but sometimes that veteran experience just cannot be replicated, and it's so difficult to compete against sometimes. And we watched them just do what veterans do yesterday and just play so calm, collected, and error-free that they were unstoppable.
Well, play has started here in our quarterfinal number 4. We'll talk about quarterfinal number 3 as we have a break here. As Izzy Martinez swinging wide and long, and now a second attack error into the net, down 2-0.
Yeah, Devin Sowers going to this top spin early, as we notated coming in. Some of our pre-broadcast talk, that wind is certainly blowing into this court, so from the grandstands towards the camera, so it's creating that headwind that's going to push a top serve down. And as we watched it, Devin has a wicked top serve when she gets it going, so she's certainly going to lean on that serve on this good wind side, try to earn some good, easy early points.
Connor, diving dig by Martinez. Martinez wrist away, or what is known as the twisted wrister winner.
Twisted wrister, I like that.
Score tied at 2s. A great dig by Carly Kahn, but being able to get a good transition point where the other side, the Mustangs, coached by Todd Rogers in a ever-rising Cal Poly program. I thought they were going to call a ball on because that was indoor approach for Sowers. What do you think there, Taylor?
That's what she's asking for, and we're going to see the R2 kind of come across and talk to the R1 about that exact thing. So the rule there would be, if the ball coming towards the court affected that player's ability to continue play in a safe manner, then it will be a replay. So as we are going to see there, the R1's going to call for a redo on that, as Devin did contest and say, hey, I felt like that ball was going to come on. I certainly stopped or slowed down, as that's a big safety concern of a twisted ankle. And for anyone that watched last weekend, she still has it wrapped. Devin Sowers had a small ankle scare last week in Denver, Colorado, so she's certainly not going to take any chances with that ankle right now.
Well, Devin Sowers, if you follow her on Instagram, is a physical fitness beast. She is lean and mean and strong. Connor back sets Martinez, and she did not
block the start. Devin getting an early one here. Well, early for gameplay. It is, 2:30 there on the ground in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, but moving things a little later today. So we're going to get some finals and maybe some semifinals under the lights here at the WAUPACA Open.
Martinez on the attack. She sneaks it by Sowers. Kahn with an attack error early on. 3-4 on the first turn.
Something I always love in some of these terms, especially with the modified pool play, we're able to see teams in situations like this, both playing each other in the quarterfinal, have both played the same team, whether it be in pool or in the first round of playoffs. So, love to talk about that in a second, just after this play.
Taking a rip is Sowers, dug by Connor. Connor goes to the soft roll off the cable and able to get it outside the diving reach of Kahn.
Yeah, great shot there, really running the cable there. So both of these teams have played the duo of Jade Race and Sydney Wetterstrom that we got to commentate yesterday. So a win for Ella and Izzy, taking them on in their very first game of the day, 21-17, 21-13. And then a rather similar storyline is Carly Kahn, Devin Sowers played them in the first round of this single elimination bracket and taking them down 21-13 and then 24-22 in that second set. So interesting to see how both of these teams have played the same team in this same tournament and how they stacked up against. I think we'll have a lot to say about how these teams will play each other.
How about that shot by Martinez, threading that needle down the line? Thought for sure she was going across her body, but she really found that sideline, seeing that pull of Sowers going more towards area 6, so she turned it a little bit with her hand.
Yeah, and you talked about Devin, such a powerful athlete coming in at 6'2", big wingspan. You're going to shoot a ball while she's peeling. You don't have a lot of real estate.
Rolling it down the line, Martinez in the anticipation dig. swings to the sideline and goes off speed inside the block of Sowers.
So far, Khan's had a good couple digs here and there, but she's looking a little slow right now. And against first match of the day, she's finding her feet and getting in a rhythm, but certainly not the Carly Khan that we saw last weekend in Denver.
Standing float serve, and it drops. She's using the elements to her advantage with the wind blowing in our direction. That ball had a quick drop as soon as it cleared the net.
Thing hit the brakes. I'm trying to say that ball brake checked Devin Sowers.
7'5", the 6'1", Ella Connor from Kihei, Hawaii. Senior season just completed at Cal Poly. Again, another wonderful season for Todd Rogers as we see the option left hand put away by Connor.
Yeah, Connor, great vision there to recognize that Khan and Sowers had gotten kind of trapped up into the short side of the court there and just easily put that one back into the corner.
A mini hybrid jump by Connor on the serve. Sowers drills it right in between two defenders.
Yeah, that was a laser beam. I mean, she just pew, pew, pew right down the seam there, and what a phenomenal swing that was by Sowers, recognizing the diving defender and just putting some heat on it.
6'8", you're looking at Carly Khan back to serve, the 5'9" defender from Honolulu, Hawaii. Connor optioning over. Khan, wow, that's just something you just don't see from Carly Khan, a shanked dig, and she had a good read on it.
She had a great read, but I felt like she was a little bit late to it. So again, Carly Khan maybe finding her feet here in this first set, and she'll loosen up. We've seen Carly Khan play some unreal defense over the last couple of weeks, so I have no doubts that she's going to get right into her rhythm, and all of a sudden, Ella Connor and Izzy Martinez are going to be asking themselves, who the heck just walked on the court? Because that's not who we were hitting at a minute ago.
Well, Carly Khan, the beneficiary of secret training, Danny Alvarez, I always give him a shout out, but got to give him a shout out today as we see Sowers drop an ace on the deck. And to continue that thought, because Danny Alvarez now named the head coach of the University of Hawaii Sandbows, or is it Beach Bows? I always get that confused. I think it's the Beach Bows. So
Beach
just
Bows.
named this week.
What a beautiful serve that was by Devin. I can't get over that. That was one of my most favorite serves in the game. You have that player that has just so much power, and the other team is anticipating that big high toss. They're kind of almost on their heels, ready to dive into the seam there, and she just takes a ton off of it and just spins it right down into area 2.
Khan with a slow approach to the outside, and I almost feel like the defense had a chance with that slowed up offense on the Khan and Sowers side.
Yeah, Devin looked like she almost just was looking seen there, and then just at last minute pushed her thumb down and pushed that ball wide towards the line. Really good shot. Oh, good reach there.
Oh, did she get that by the block of Sowers? Yeah.
She did, just barely off the hands, and it falls back on the side of Khan and Sowers. So we saw this last week in Denver as well. Devin Sowers took a little bit to get going on the blocking side. She does already have one. In this game, that ball looked very blockable. Devin Sowers just kind of leaning towards the pin away from the swing.
Well, Connor had to do a wax-off swing, and it was very awkward, so I thought Devin was just going to feast on it. Oh, excellent shot by Khan.
Yeah, Ella Connor standing at 6'1", not an easy player to drop a high line over while she's peeling. And Carly Khan just threading the needle there right over the top of her hand and dropping it into the back corner. So this brings us to our technical timeout here in the first set. Carly Khan, Devin Sowers trailing by 1 point to Connor and Martinez. Rob, so far teams trading some pretty good defensive stops, a couple block touches and blocks, and honestly a lot of missed opportunities in transition. So both teams needing to kind of get going in the transition side and get some scoop and scores. Other than that, I think we're still kind of in that feel out phase, sacrificing a couple pawns, as they like to say.
Well, yeah, I definitely agree with you on that, but I feel like Devin and Carly are not playing Devin and Carly ball quite yet. It's just fortunate that they're only trailing by 1, but Ella and Izzy are doing pretty good considering who they're playing against right now. So I'm waiting to see that notch get turned up on the Sowers side. But it's not that Connor and Martinez can't turn it up more. They've been playing pretty good ball here in our quarterfinal.
Yeah, I have to agree with you big time. This is not the Con and Sowers that we've seen. So I'll be interested to see when they're able to start turning that on and get to a rhythm. And I never try to, talk down about a player's abilities or how they're looking in the moment. But again, I just have to say, Con and Sowers are just looking a little slow today. And I know that they have the speed, so I'm really looking forward to them picking up the pace of play. And maybe they're conserving right now and they're just in that find out phase and not maybe going 100% yet. But this is single elimination. They're certainly not going to want to get into a situation where they are do or die in a third set. So
a little pinball action off the block by Sowers and out of the reach of Martinez playing defense in that middle back area. Connor back to serve the 6-1 blocker. Tight pass. Martinez, 3/4 speed swing easily into the corner.
Carly Kahn doing her best Devin Sowers impression there at the net.
Ella Connor back to serve. She just became the second freshman in program history for Cal Poly named as an AVCA first team All-American. As in her first season for Todd Rogers and the Mustangs.
I mean, she's showing it here today so far. She is playing some phenomenally, just nothing flashy, just very consistent, clean ball. Another great pickup there by Izzy. Oh, but she misses the shorty. Izzy, what a phenomenal pickup that was, though.
Let me ask you this, Taylor. If you're looking at Izzy Martinez, her physical and her build, who does she remind you of?
Oh, so many players that are so great that we just got done talking about. I'm gonna
I'll give you a hint. She is on my podcast.
I was wondering if you were gonna go Uringo.
Yep.
She's so fast. She's just so fast. I've seen her have 2 moves already where she made an early read and then was almost got beat on it and then just hit the brakes and turned on the turbos running back the other direction and picked it up. And I won't lie to you, my inner coach was sitting there screaming, just stay still, keep your feet still. But when you're as fast as Izzy Martinez, don't listen to me. Just you do you.
Well, I was thinking about just the way she's playing defense, what we saw from Gina at the final last weekend in Denver, and was seeing very similar instances of the way her style of play.
The biggest thing I have to say I really love about her defense so far, similar to Gina Uringo, is her sweeping ability to get not only through that dig and make that defensive move, but then shift out quickly and be ready to attack the ball. Gina does such a phenomenal job of making that read in the defense, and then her body just doesn't even stop on that defensive touch. She makes the touch, it's so effortless and just it flows. She just immediately pops out, makes a nice wide sweeping approach, comes in and just attacks with precision. So interested to see what Izzy Martinez is able to keep doing here on the scoop and score side as a defender.
Good dig by Carly, saved by Sowers. High free ball coming. We'll see what Izzy does on the offering and option ball. Good read by Kahn. Over on one and then over on one right back. A retaliatory Uno and over.
Yeah, Carly Kahn, we watched her get quite a few of those last week in Denver and don't really see it come back at her too often. So tip of the hat to Izzy Martinez there for a heads up play.
We can call it the ooh play. Option on one.
Ooh for ooh.
Yeah.
Back set.
Yeah, Devin is really putting up a block now. Again, another touch.
And Izzy's still almost getting to that. A beautiful play by Devin Sowers there, but talk about the speed again of Izzy Martinez. She was right next to Ella Connor at the net. Devin Sowers poked that ball 2 feet from the back line, and Martinez still touched it, albeit she didn't get it up and playable. But Devin Sowers has got to be thinking, where can I put the ball that Izzy can't touch it?
It's 14-17. Martinez rolls that one into the net. Another attack error. I think it's the most attack errors I've seen in one set of plays so far.
Yeah, so far quite a few, and Khan, struggling there as well, and Sowers has had one. It's certainly not a clean match so far.
And the conditions aren't that crazy. So I was thinking maybe the wind playing a factor, but it's not. It's like 6 miles per hour, nothing big.
Nothing big, especially for a lot of these players you're used to playing out in California and then sometimes down here in Florida as well. They deal with some hellacious winds.
Against the grain shot, did it grab the line?
It did not. Wow.
Big point for Sowers and Khan. Knocking on the door now.
Okay, and we are going to see, I was just about to say, the fact that we're not seeing a timeout right now by Connor and Martinez is blowing my mind. The inner coach in me is screaming at them, take the timeout.
Well, we've got a little break here in the timeout, but we aren't still seeing the smoothest of play, but we're seeing some excellent effort. Devin has really kicked up since the technical timeout, her blocking game. And then on the other side, you have Martinez really covering the court like a blanket almost.
Yeah, Martinez is she's got a magnet on her arms and in the ball. She has not a single ball has really gone past that she hasn't touched. Picking up the one ball from Carly Khan and shooting it right back over took a lot of, I'll say guts, and for her to score on it, phenomenal. Ella Connor just barely missing that last turn, lefty towards the line. Looked like she was going to grab it on its way out, falling just a few inches out. So some small hitting errors the way of Connor and Martinez, and they clean those small errors up right now. This is a blowout game if we're being honest. So Carly Khan, Devin Sowers are certainly the benefactors of, I would say, a little bit of luck right now, and the fact that Connor Martinez has missed some very, very close shots. And if they're able to capitalize it, good for them, but they certainly need to clean up their own side of the net, as the only reason they're really in this game right now, in my opinion, is some errors on the way of Connor Martinez. And there, Joust is going to go towards Carly Khan. She's not able to get back over to it, so it's going to send Ella Connor back to the line.
Well, it's Connor with great vision, seeing where Connor was at on defense. She intentionally turned it to that area 4. Big blast, and Ella can't leg it out. Point switch.
Big swing there by Devin Sowers. She really hasn't unloaded on many balls yet in this match, and she's been more going to a shot placement game or just a kind of a 3/4 swing. So good time for her to start loosening that shoulder up, and she's going to need it if she's going to beat Izzy Martinez in defense.
Excellent pass by Martinez. Martinez crossbody crush. Is it in?
Calling that one out. So again, another unforced error by Connor Martinez, keeping Khan and Sowers in the game.
She came in with a very confident approach with a lot of speed and a big swing. Working Martinez. And Martinez goes to her soft game. Go up by 1.
That's a good move by Martinez there to recognize you've got a 6'2" blocker in Devin Sowers, who not only is a 6'2" blocker, but times extremely well. And Devin took a big step to the inside and was waiting for Izzy to swing hard, and Izzy recognizing that and just rolling up over the top of the reach of Devin Sowers. And an ace by Izzy Martinez sets him up with a first set possible point, 20 serving 18.
That's an excellent location for that serve, always creating havoc, also known as the hubby wife ace. Oh, trickles over. Sowers gets on it and is able to put her away on the wrist away shot.
Great pickup by Devin Sowers there. We've watched so many big-time games end on a tape serve. I can even think of one several years ago, Phil Dahlhauser losing a final on a tape serve. I just remember the head shake that came along with it. So Devin Sowers doing a great job there to get low, crawl underneath, and get a good pass for Carly Kahn to give her a great set there.
And a serve into the net to give him the set. I'm actually really surprised.
Yeah, that's a very untimely miss by Devin Sowers, and she's, I'm sure, walking back to the umbrella right now, saying a few things under her breath that we certainly can't say on this broadcast.
Well, with that, you have the number 6 seed, Ella Connor and Izzy Martinez, taking the first set from our number 2 seed, Carly Kahn and Devin Sowers. Taylor, what's your summary after one set of play that we've seen here?
I'm still going to stick with my read, and call it a hot take, but that could have been an absolute blowout of a set if Ella Connor and Izzy Martinez don't give up easily 5 or 6 unforced hitting errors, hitting into the net short, hitting several balls wide. So that set easily could have been a very different tale if Connor and Martinez have a little bit more control in their swing. So Carly Kahn, Devin Sowers, honestly, in my opinion, getting out of that first set with a pretty good score line to not feel like they got shellacked in the first one. But they've got to find some rhythm here. We've seen Carly Kahn, Devin Sowers play some absolutely unreal volleyball between Denver and also earlier this week here in WAUPACA, and they have all the tools. Carly Kahn, one of the best defenders out here, and known as the Wrath of Kahn. Beautiful ability to scoop and score. Devin Sowers, great blocker, big, powerful swing. Really not showcasing either of those main talents here in this match so far. So if Carly Kahn, Devin Sowers can find that rhythm quickly that we know they're very capable of, this will become a third set match all day long. Ella Connor, Isabella Martinez, keep them from doing that. Keep them uncomfortable. Don't let them get hot, and you're going to finish this one in 2.
Spot on analysis by none other than Taylor Wright, as we see that first serve go long, giving Connor and Martinez a 1-0 lead in the second set. Ball's passed way off net, out of system play, but a great set nonetheless. And Kahn goes thumb down into the corner.
That was a great shot by Kahn. That is a textbook shot for Carly Kahn. She loves to crash in hard, identify that kind of outside blocker hand, and then just barely hang it right over the top of the block where you feel like you should have been able to grab it, but I assure you there's no way you can. Carly Kahn's so good, that shot. She really needs to identify that. And another one ball by Carly Kahn. She is mad. She got beat on the one in the last game. I think you called it an ooh.
Yeah, the over on one.
An ooh shot. Carly Kahn got to get her ooh there, and right back, return to sender.
Kahn feeling a little more here. Looks like she's got a more ump in her step here as we start the second set. Martinez on the attack, and she goes cross court and sizzles it into the corner.
Yeah, I think that one may have even touched just the fingertips of Devin Sowers there. I maybe heard that on our hot mic. Really good job there identifying that inside hand and just keeping it just barely out of reach of Devin Sowers.
Sowers, a good pass over to Kahn. Kahn coming in hot on that angular approach. Wisely lets the dug ball go out of play for Martinez.
Yeah, so Devin Sowers, if she can find that swing, which it looks like she's starting to now, they're going to stop serving her. I can assure you of that. They've gone after a little bit so far, maybe trying to create a little havoc at a serve receive. But if Devin can keep passing and keep bombing balls away, Martinez are not going to want to keep dealing with that. A great ace there by Devin Sowers. That didn't look like anything super wicked, but that win maybe making the ball dance just a little extra, and Ella Connor wasn't ready for it.
Kahn with a low serve off the cable, picked up Martinez, and right down the alley goes Ella Connor.
Yeah, just a simplistic swing there. Almost looked like a miscommunication between Kahn and Sowers there about who was going to slide underneath. And you heard me say it over the last 2 weeks, and I think I've avoided saying it this whole time, and I'm finally going to say it. Win in a pickle, go down the middle.
Deep serve over towards Sowers. Sowers inside approach. Dug by Martinez. Option ball. Left hand knock by Connor, and it finds the sand.
Ella Connor, beautiful shot. Not taking anything away from you. Izzy Martinez, the pickup off the block touch and the locate on that set. My word, what a set that was. Beautiful job, Izzy.
Serve as well from Connor off the top of the block. And Martinez about 2 inches too short on that pickup, but she did get that right move.
Yeah, a couple more box jumps and she's got that next week.
Make it sound so easy, Taylor. Box jumps do nothing for me except for allow me to sit down.
It's easy. You just need 2 more inches. That's it. Got this.
Broken play. That's a second shank pass by Connor in serve receive. And could that be a new strategy? Because they're mixing it. They were going strictly towards Martinez, and now they've started going to Connor.
Yeah, we'll see teams start to do that. They'll and a service ace there, though, giving the ball right back to Izzy Martinez. A lot of times they're going to avoid serving the big in these situations. However, if you can get them off their game and start getting them to second guess themselves and serve receive, it's certainly something that you should start attacking, especially with a down low serve with a little bit of wind, a little bit of movement. Certainly a lot more difficult for the 6'1" or the 6'2" frame of the blockers in this match to get down low and make a good pass.
Well, currently it's 78 degrees with a 6-mile-per-hour wind, so we're watching it because there definitely is a weather warning. Connor winding up and deflecting out of play is Con.
Yeah, great swing there by Connor. Quick late approach and just swinging away from the body, thumb down. Really good turn. So some service errors here in this second set so far by both teams.
Yeah, it just seems like there's a lot of not only attack errors, but service errors.
Service errors on both sides of the ball. Several aces so far, or bad passes. Several serves into the net.
Easy passer Connor as she gets a good platform underneath it, and she knows what to do, just like clockwork.
Yeah, that. If you looked up in the dictionary, pass, set, swing, that video clip would be right under. Just textbook all day long.
Sowers steps in, calls for that back set. No block up. Good dig by Martinez. Let's see what she can do. Can she convert? Yes, she does. Off the outside hand of Sowers.
Big swing by Martinez, though. Recognizing the kind of up and down hands of Devin Sowers and just swinging away into the forearms. Easily could have been a block, but really putting the mustard on that one and pushing it through.
Martinez testing Sowers again. Tight pass. Shot picked up by Martinez. Khan gets underneath it, and the attack error by Sowers, and she is not too happy with herself.
Yeah, we saw Ella Connor and Izzy Martinez be the error-riddled team in the first set, albeit they won. They certainly got lucky, in my opinion. And so far in this set, some hitting errors now for Carly Kahn and Devin Sowers.
Kahn highball to the left side. Easy dig for Martinez. And she goes off the block and turning and burning is Sowers, but unable to get underneath it.
Right now, Izzy Martinez doing exactly what she did in the first set, which is touch everything in defense. And let's give her blocker a little bit of credit. I am sure that she is getting so many of these digs as Ella Connor is what we call funneling the ball perfectly. Ella Connor's lining up on the hitter's shoulder very well, Y blocking, and really only showing so much room for Izzy Martinez to go sit in that slot and get an easy dig. But Izzy Martinez just playing some phenomenal defense right now.
Really working on Sowers. A great setup on the block by Ella Connor, and that's how Ella got her groove back, blocking.
Well, and, I guess I don't need to give her credit. She's just going to go show it right there on the screen why she deserves all the credit. So we're going to get a timeout there, I believe, by Carly Kahn, Devin Sowers. The technical timeout's coming quickly However, they're not looking to go to that technical down as much as they could right now. So 2 points away from a technical timeout. The team timeout comes out the way of Carly Kahn, Devin Sowers, certainly trying to find an answer for Izzy Martinez. Ella Connor, very involved right now, getting a block there, some great block touches and some kills of her own. But as a commentator, I have to say right now that the player on the court that is just taking charge is Izzy Martinez. Phenomenal dig, some scoop and score offense, and has also pulled out some phenomenal sets of her own to give Ella Connor the chance to go up and bang away after a block touch.
And that's an excellent point you make, because if you watch Martinez moving on the court, she's very active. I know you said it drove you crazy, but she's getting those touches. And one of those things I shared in our last broadcast in Denver is, effort leads to touches, touches lead to opportunities, and opportunities lead to points. And I think that's the extra X factor that's pushing them on top right now.
Absolutely. Served on the seam. Kahn picks it up. Sowers wide set. Wrist away shot by Kahn. Big set by Connor, and Martinez detonates one, but picked up by Kahn. Up, snap away, off the hand of Connor goes Carly Kahn. The Wrath of Kahn shows up out of that timeout. What a great call for a timeout there it was by Carly Kahn, Devin Sowers, as they're able to immediately come out, break the serving run, stop the bleeding, and send Devin Sowers back to the line.
You got 9 looking at 11. Point to technical, and they're working on Martinez now. They've been going back and forth, and Martinez showing she's got a little salsa swing that's a little picante and spicy at the same time.
Yeah, again, Rob, my favorite thing to talk about going into a technical or any timeout really is, what would you say to a team right now in this timeout if you were their coach? And if I'm the coach in Ella and Izzy's corner, I don't feel like I'm earning my keep today, because, hey guys, just keep doing what you're doing. In my opinion, maybe we keep the ball away from Devin. I would say short and serve receive as she's starting to pass this really well. Maybe go attack her deep shoulder, force her to a very long, elongated approach, and maybe we're able to beat her there. But if you're in Carly Kahn and Devin Sowers' corner right now, Rob, how are we getting them back in this game right now?
Well, I think that Carly has been playing good ball. She's cleaned it up here in the second set, but I think getting those touches on the block by Sowers is what we're missing. She's been not only an offensive threat, but a defensive threat, as we've seen not only this last week in Denver, but in all the matches they've really been dominant in. She's been able to get those quality block touches that are either lead to points, or they can control something and get a play run off it. And we're not seeing that as often here in this quarterfinal. So Sowers takes a big swing, and that's a good start out of the timeout by Sowers.
That's a great start. You're coming out, you're down 3. Honestly, can't really ask for more than that right there. Go notch one on the board. Get yourself back to where you feel like you are in at least striking distance, which right now, 2 reels, a side out and a reel. You're right back in the good spot, and a great serve down the seam there.
Wow, that was such a wonderful, deep, and confusing serve for Connor and Martinez. They were going you go, not I go.
And honestly, that angle that Kahn's serving at right now is an angle that creates a lot of that havoc.
Martinez really threading that needle in area 4. She likes going down that line with those little drop shots.
Well, I talked about it a minute ago. That shot looked very Carly Kahn-esque. Kind of crashing in from the right side of the court, coming into the ball, and then just turning shoulder and wrist towards the line.
Big swing and an even bigger dig by Martinez, leading the option ball termination by Connor.
That's the exact ball I was just giving Izzy Martinez credit for. Not only is she playing phenomenal defense, but it's the touches off the block touch that she's getting that are just incredible. Not only is she there and getting the touch, but it's so controlled, and it's right on top of Ella Connor, so she's able to go up and just detonate on that third contact.
Sowers, another swing, and she finds a good thumper in the sand.
Yeah, big swing there by Sowers. I think that's the only way you beat Izzy Martinez right now. She's picking up everything else. Devin Sowers, if you can hear me, the only way you're beating Martinez right now is to bounce the ball. Let's be honest.
Excellent pass on Martinez. Martinez, slow and go off the block. You saw her slow down her approach and intentionally look for the hands of Sowers.
Yeah, that was a smart play. That was not a good set. Ella Connor pushed that ball a good bit wider than Izzy Martinez was anticipating and expecting. And Izzy doing a great job just almost staying on the ground there, identifying the ball, identifying the block, and then just playing some pinball and shooting that one away off the side of Sowers.
Standing float over towards Sowers. Sowers going for that hard angle and gets it inside the block of Connor. And she goes down gingerly, or is just disappointed in herself because she got a good read and didn't get it.
She made a heck of a reach there to the inside. I think she just came down a little off balance rather than trying to catch herself. And that's honestly sometimes where you get those tweaks and twists. She just smartly collapses to the ground as a 6'1" blocker, not looking to go down with any kind of injury.
On the 5'9" defender from Honolulu, Hawaii, tests that deep corner and unfortunately floats it long.
Not a common call for you or myself, Rob. Carly Kahn missing a serve is not something we typically see.
Like us mispronouncing, that happens regularly, but them missing serves, definitely not regular for them. Got a ball on the court, see if that hinders the play, but they keep going, and Sowers clamps down. Is that Carly Kahn on the block?
That was Carly Kahn. So Carly Kahn's getting the full monster block shout out.
Yeah, we should have an extended pause so we can play it all the way through.
Carly Kahn with the house.
Well, she's so high, I mistook her for Devin Sowers.
I said earlier she was doing her best Devin Sowers impression, but that time, actually doing it. A big rip by
Martinez. Sizzling the pit, so to speak, on that low inside angle.
A big response there after getting clamped on the last one by Carly Kahn, comes right back in, ripping away.
That was a great serve by Connor, high into the corner, and not a full commitment as we look at Connor roll it over towards Kahn. Pick up by Izzy. Izzy rolls to the right side and lets her rip.
Ella Connor, take a bow. That was a phenomenal set. I want to talk about how far she pushed that ball. She was at the sideline and set that ball just past the midline of the net there. That's a 18 to 20 foot set.
Sowers grooving it cross court for the winner, 15-18.
A good tight ball game here in terms of siding out these last couple of points. Carly Kahn, Devin Sowers have got to turn on the boosters if they want to try to make a run here, though, late.
And Connor just so effective on that option ball.
Yeah, that was a great look by her. She just identified early and just turning that ball away. Devin Sowers was there and made a great reach for it, and Ella Connor able to just turn that ball right off the rip, right away from her.
Sowers, high ball in the middle. Good touch by Connor, and she's unable to get the ball up off the block.
So I know you like to call the 17-18 the crunch time switch, but let's talk about the 16-19 switch. If Carly Kahn and Devin Sowers are hoping to get back in this game, there's not really any more room for error at this point right here. So that pursuit of perfection that we talk about is taking place on the side of Carly Kahn, Devin Sowers right now.
That pass saved by Connor. Martinez picks up the trash off the overpass. Martinez going for that rainbow roller down the line.
It was a great block touch by Devin Sowers. Unfortunate for her that it wasn't terminal. Really great touch and press, and a great recycle pickup. So Ella Connor going to go to the line here with a match point.
But we have seen a comeback from
we certainly have. Carly Kahn, Devin Sowers would love to return the favor.
Good take by Martinez. Joust went up top, and there's the winner. how Ella got her groove back. The option ball winner for a point, set, and match as our number 10 seed defeats number 2 seed in the tournament, Ella Connor and Izzy Martinez, the Mustangs, Todd Rogers' disciples, taking down Carly Kahn and Devin Sowers. Taylor, throw down what you saw in this matchup here in our quarterfinal, our first of the day here on our AVP WAUPACA Open stream on YouTube.
Ella Connor, Izzy Martinez. We talked a lot about after the first set. In my opinion, they gave away quite a few points with some errors and allowed Carly Kahn, Devin Sowers to hang around in that first set. But in the second set, going almost perfect. Connor Martinez, very few errors in that second set, really only giving up a couple of points that could have gone their way on some rather good plays by Carly Kahn, Devin Sowers. They really never allowed Kahn and Sowers to get comfortable. They never really allowed them to get into a rhythm and feel like they had any kind of control of what the next point might be. And a great job by them, and tip of the cap to Connor and Martinez for doing that. That's not something easy to do against the wrath of Kahn and Devin Sowers, as we've seen them over the last couple of weeks just absolutely manhandle teams in terms of controlling the tempo and the style of gameplay. So big tip of the cap to them. If they hope to make a deep run in this tournament, they're going to have to clean up those unforced errors. As we've already talked about some of the other quarterfinals going on, there is no easy path to a finals here at WAUPACA Open. And if they're hoping to make it there, they're going to have to play some much more error-free volleyball than we saw from them, especially in that first set. Even the second set, still a couple talking points that they're going to want back in the long run.
Yeah. Well, with that win, Ella Connor and Izzy Martinez will face the winner of Savvy Simo and Abby Van Winkle, they're reseeded, the number 3 seed now in the single elimination bracket, versus Macy Jerger, former Florida State standout, along with former USC standout and Pepperdine standout, Maddie Shields. So they're awaiting their opponent. No scores have been posting, and there's nothing live on volleyballlife.com. And we continue on as we go through the AVP WAUPACA Open. We've got a men's semi coming up next. We've got the number 7 seed, Derek Bradford and John Schwengel, facing off against the number 2 seed, Peter Knoll and Caleb Queckel. So for Taylor Wright, I'm Rob Aspero. We're going to get some info for you here as we prep for a quarterfinal number 1 on the men's side here from the AVP WAUPACA Open.